We are in Module 2 and Information Technology. And within Information Technology, that means Chapter 2. Within this chapter, we have 4 topics: hardware, software, data resource management, telecommunication and network. What is hardware? Computer hardware includes the physical, tangible parts of component of a computer, such as a cable, CPU, monitor, keyboard, data storage, a graphic card, sound card, speaker, motherboard, etc. The hardware is the part of computer component of this part of computer. So we can say that computer hardware include physical and tangible parts of component of a computer. By contrast of software is installed that can be stored with the run by, within the hardware. So we can see that is the part of hardware here. Motherboard, CPU, that means etc. is here. CPU, motherboard, graphics card is also the hardware. We can say here monitor, keyboard, here a scanner, also all of the hardwares. Computer system, and we can say that end user and enterprise computing. All computers are system of input, processing, output, storage, and control component. So all computers are the system of input, processing, output, storage, and control components. End user computing refers to a computer system and platform that are meant to allow non-programmers to create working computer applicable. End user computing, also we are also the end user. It is a complication of approach means to better involve and integrate an user and non-computing, etc. So for the system developed, if you see here, computer system is a complete working computer. We need it. This one here, it is also the hardware. Here system is units here, monitor, keyboard, speaker, and here microphone, mouse, etc. And within the monitor, this is screen is here. So if you go for the brief history of computer hardware, without computer, many technological achievement would not be possible at this moment. So the history of computer hardware here, we can say that continuing with a finger, we are counting in our finger. So start from that part. And first 1642, Pascal invented the first mechanical adding machine. And 1980, here Helmholtz, that means punch card system. And also 1911, merged with the competitor from the IBM. And ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrated and Calculator, 1946 invented. The world's first electronic digital computer is ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Calculator, 1946. So is the and 1950 transistors were invented and replace the tube. That time, what ENIAC invented, that time it was the vacuum tube. And 1950, it were invented and replaced the tube. And 1958, integrated circuit, that means chip, at this moment we are using, was invented. And 1970 to 1980, further minimization of the circuit, Apple computer, IBM PC, etc. So this way, the history of hardware and computer. If we see here, this is the different stage and different year, year after year. Now is the very small size, and also we are now using the laptop So if we see also here in the year wise, we can say this way. Another thing, for example, 1940 start and continuing. So 1942 Mac fast, if we see here, this one, electronical computer using mechanical device. Its weight was 5 ton. It used about 7,50,000 parts. And 1943, electronic vacuum tube controlling electronic current through a vacuum and sealed container. And 1946 is ENIAC. This is the picture of ENIAC, the big size, first electronic high-speed general purpose computer using vacuum tube is the ENIAC 1946. And 1949, again, two things here, EDISC and EDIVAC, fast storage program computer. This is the picture of fast storage program computers. And 1951 is come UNIVAC and Leo, first commercial automatic computer. This is the picture. And from 1951 to 1958, where use vacuum tube as main logic element punch card, external and rotating magnetic drum internally to store data and complied with the transform code. So this is the revolution of 1958, 51 to 58. And then 1959 to 1963, where use transistor with semi-microconductor as main logic element and magnetic tape and disks. The magnetic code to store data. So from the vacuum tube is replaced to the transistor. And 1962 to 1979, it's come where use integrated circuit as logic element and magnetic core internal memories being given away to material oxide semiconductor is called MOS memory. They use silicon-based chip. The year 1977, if we see, so 1977, Apple, first highly successful mass product process, personal microcomputer. And 1979, so integrated circuit become a large scale and a very large scale. That means LSI and VLSIC, memory logic, and control circuit, that means CPU, where in microprocessor they appeal to home. And at this moment now that innovation is also day by day going for research and development, and size minimizing day by day, also cost also. And 1981 IBM PC, personal computer, and MS-DOS, that is Microsoft DIX operating system, DOS operating system, so was developed. And in 1984, first Apple Mac computer. And by nowadays, so what we are seeing at this moment, all are the innovation that is start from the beginning of that. For example, our ENIAC. So is the history of computer. And now if we see the types of computer system, the types of computer system, we can say different types of, if we see the picture here, microcomputer, a supercomputer, mini computer, personal computer, a laptop, tablet, etc. We can say that. But basically, they are the based on the size is categorized. So here, some are mainframe computer, some are mid-range computer, some are microcomputer. So we can say this way, we can basically categorize this way here, main that means a microcomputer is a small size. That means personal computer, a network computer, a technical workstation, personal digital assistance, information appli, etc. And mid-range system, a networks server, microcomputer, web server, and etc. And mainframe computer is an enterprise system, and a supercomputer, transaction processor, supercomputer, etc. So here, mainframe computer, the speed is high, processor is speed high, RAM is huge, approximately cost is huge, etc. So we can say mainframe computer is a so we can say that there are different types of computer based on the size, shape. We can categorize in 3 types. One is mainframe computer, another mid-range, another microcomputer. Mainframe computer, what is this? A mainframe computer, informally called the mainframe or a big iron, is a computer used primarily by large organization for critical application, huge data wire processing, that types of mainframe. So we can say that mainframe computer, the huge computer, that means that it could fill and entire room can be happen, that type of even whole floor also. Mainframe computer can run multiple instruction of operating system at the same time and mainframe are used primarily by large organization for critical application where huge data, big data are using and used for online data storage. Mainframe used for the transaction processing, also banking, airline, etc. Also our, if we see our national ID server, that means our election commission server, so there must be a mainframe computer that should use it for proper utilization of big data and for our proper service of the data. And micro computer system, that is personal computer. We are all we are familiar with that. So microcomputer or personal computer is the most important category for business and consumer. At this moment where we are taking our class through that personal computer also, and exceed the power of many mainframe. So a workstation, that also the personal computer, microcomputer, that means what is support the mathematical and graphical demand, a network server, computer terminal, network computers, information appliance, etc. within that microcomputer system. So if we see the example here, what is using in the business side, another multi-media heavy graph, that is for gaming PC, and a newcomer in future will come, that type of indication is saying there. It is the what is the, that means we can say corporate PC criteria. What would be the corporate PC? Why laptop instead of desktop? It is the question also. So why laptop instead of desktop? Because a laptop is movable. We can take it from one station to another. We can keep it with our in our side. We can use in a different spot, different space, different position. But a desktop should be fixed within a space. So that's why a laptop is very much usable than desktop. And why should a change of OS be destructive? That means operating system. What are the strength versus risks of cavalry versus wireless PC, etc. So here, if we see a mid-range, mainframe, and supercomputer system in different way, we can see mid-range system popular as network server and microcomputer. So mid-range system are primarily high-end network server and other type of server that can handle by large scale processing or many business application. And if we see mainframe system is a big one, also is a large fast and powerful, used for high transaction processing and complex computation, used by corporation and government agency also. And a supercomputer, extremely powerful and extremely high speed and massive that means a numeric computation. And the next wave computing, this is what is going on at this moment. So small size but huge power. And distributed grid computing, parallel computer over the network. The advantage is that persist noted and commonly economic scale, and digitalization, that means lack of centralized control. So look here, if we are using laptop at this moment, my laptop also, the office purpose we are using, also using the personal purpose. So there is no centralized control because if I am taking the data from my office side, office server, and if I use it, utilize it a different way, so it can be happen as an official purpose. There is no secrecy, so that's the problem also. And that's why US said that bring your own device. So it is also a policy of the organization. Sometimes in US or the European Union, they are doing that type of employee, they bring their device from their home. So they have the policy also, which that means data they be able to use or that means have to keep in their office also. So that type of policy in Western country. But we have no that types of policy. But in our central bank, for the bank purpose, we have the policy of ICT policy. Also, we have the national ICT policy, and each and every organization, they should adopt the policy for security purpose. The computer system concept, if we see here how computer work, what the system they're using. Look here, a computer system is a set of integrated devices that input, output, process, and store data and information. And computer systems are currently built around the list of one digital processing device. There are 5 main hardware components in a computer system. So it's your objective question. You know, in your you would be the first batch who have to sit for the exam in online exam. So they look here. This is there's a computer system. The component of computer system here 5 main components. One is input, another processing, storage, output, and communication device. This 5 that means components of computer system. So if we see here input, look here, input device enter data and instruction into the CPU, central processing unit. So how we can input it? We can input through the keyboard, we can input through the mouse, we can input through the touch screen, we can input optical scanner, we can input from the voice recognition. So this is the input device, and this is the input as a component of computer system, number 1. And then this input go to the central processing unit, CPU. There 2 units is there. Within central processing unit, CPU, there are 2 units. One is control unit, another is arithmetic logic unit. So control unit is that interacted the instruction and directs the processing. And arithmetic logic unit perform arithmetic operation and makes comparison. And that also within the system bars, we have the memory devices here. Here is we can say a primary memory, that is a storage memory, store data and program instruction during processing, and also cache memory and a special purpose processor using within this component, and secondary device, that is secondary storage device, that is a magnetic disc, tab, optical disc, etc. are the secondary storage device, and store data within this secondary storage device and a program for processing. And if we see the output, this is the output. That's what from the output device communicate and record information. How we can take the output? We can see in our monitor. It's also the output. Monitor also the input output both device. So within the monitor we are visualizing that the answer is there, and also if we print it, so we will get the hard copy. So it's also the output device, and also audio response, that is sound, also physical control device, and also if we present it through PowerPoint presentation, also is the output device. So here we can say that the component of computer system are five: input, process, store, output, and communication device.